What is never in your junk drawer when you need it? Oh, for me, it's scissors. I know I keep them in there, but every time I look, they're gone. What human experiment would you carry out if it was legal? What is 100% a scam? When FBI agents ask for bank accounts or gift cards. They're literally a part of the government. You think they need iTunes gift cards to, deal with money? You won't last 5 minutes. Game. Yeah, I'm not trying to last 5 minutes. I got, places to be. The individual who called me yesterday claiming to be U.S. Customs and Border Control, who said I had an illegal package from Mexico in my name. Oh, you can keep it. I don't want it. That would be illegal and against the law. Yeah, that is the laziest sounding scam. Why would I want an illegal package at that point? Hydrogen-rich water. Had someone I know, this person is also into MLMs, try to sell me a thousands of dollars water filter. I looked up if there were any legit studies done on the health claims, and as I suspected, I didn't find any really compelling science. Turns out most of the claims pretty much line up with the health benefits of just drinking more water in general. The sugar mommies on Instagram that keep trying to talk to me. You never know, they could actually be sugar mommies, but it is better to play it safe. Pretty much all YouTube ads these days, if it starts with "this one trick can," or anything like "doctors hate this," doctors hate it because they have to explain green tea doesn't cure type 1 diabetes. TBH, it's flat out dangerous false advertising, but YouTube doesn't care. The people that call my house trying to sell me duck cleaning. I don't have a duck. Ask them if they clean geese. Sometimes they do, but don't advertise it. What are some crazy but real facts that could save your life? If you find yourself stranded in a desert, ration sweat, not water. Of course, don't drink all of your water in one go, but the rate at which you'll dehydrate and overheat if exerting yourself, example, walking/hiking too fast or climbing over obstacles in the heat of the day, will kill you much quicker. Many people are found dead with water, which is terrifying. If you're choking, don't get embarrassed. Don't go to the bathroom. Don't walk away from people. I've seen a couple people nearly die because they were panicking and walked away from the dinner tables and such while choking. Do the universal sign for choking with both your hands on your neck and most people will get the message. If you drive after being awake for 24 hours, your response times are impaired the equivalent of somebody just over the drunk driving limit. Not too crazy, but if someone is acting drunk but didn't have any alcohol, ask them to smile. If one side of their mouth is down, take them to a doctor because they are having or will have a stroke. A motorcycle helmet is stronger than a skull. Yeah, any bike helmet is stronger than a skull, I'd imagine. You can hold a plastic bag around a willow tree branch with leaves and it will start condensating drinkable water in the bag. When caught in a rip at the beach, just swim slowly along the beach, parallel to the shore until you feel the pull ease up, then swim towards the shore. Drink vodka if you get antifreeze in your system. Better question, how are you getting antifreeze in your body at all? What is something you know about your parents that you shouldn't know? As a teenager, I moved in with my mom after not living with her for most of my life and fighting to be a part of hers. One night, I heard her and my stepdad talking about how the only reason they let me live there was for the tax credits and child support. Jesus. Yeah, parents can be a little crazy. As a kid, I saw an old family tree that showed my mom had 3 babies, all different dads, whom she gave up for adoption before meeting my dad. I didn't say shit, and she didn't admit it to me until about 10 years afterwards, that they definitely should have married other people. Yeah, I know that one. When I moved to Colorado with my mom, I convinced her to smoke some weed with me. She giggled a lot, laughed at cartoons with me, demanded Magic Shell with her ice cream, and then proceeded to tell me my father was a gay man who cheated on her multiple times with men during their marriage, including while she was pregnant with me. Whoa, now that is a magic bombshell. Oh. As a young kid, I overheard my parents screaming in another room about what age I was when my dad left us. Mom said 3 months. Dad said 3 years. I didn't know he left at all. At least he came back? Must have been a long line in the milk store. They have a schedule and I have to sleep through it. Their schedule should also be your schedule to do something outside of the house. Yeah, if you know what they're doing, then get out. Leave. My dad was part of a cartel and was investigated by the DEA. Don't lie to me, Walt, you sussy baka. My dad and stepmom are cousins. Banjo noises intensifies. Yeehaw! What would you not do even with a gun pointed at your head? Go to the secondary location. If they're willing to murder me in the street, then what they're willing to do in a prepared, private location is going to be infinitely worse. If you really want to shoot me, you're gonna have to do it in public. I wouldn't try the disarming moves from TikTok. Yeah, those are just It's how you get instantly blasted. Put the barrel in my mouth and raise my eyebrows up and down really quick in a suggestive manner. I would also refrain from doing this. Dig my own grave. I see that shit on movies all the time and I think, if that was me, I'd say, get f***ed. Dig the bastard yourself. I mean, they gonna kill me anyways, right? If I'm digging, get shot. Yeah, but you don't have control over that situation, buddy. Like, come on. I'll tell you what I would do. I'd slowly turn my head to the gun and slowly lick it before sucking on it, so then the person had two other problems to deal with. Is the other problem you turned them on? What? Give you up. They're never gonna let you down, even with a gun pointed at their head. You need to impress a king from the medieval period. What food from the future would you bring him? Give him a Taki. Give him a Taki or a flaming hot Cheeto. His head will explode. Pop rocks might freak them out. Sweet rocks that burst in your mouth? Burn the witch! May we burn her? Jello? How do you store such flavors in gelatin? A pineapple. Pineapples didn't come to England until the Stuart era. I picked this one too. When they finally got them, they were so rare and expensive that people would literally carry them around as a status symbol. Like, yeah dude, nice jewelry encrusted coat, but have you seen my freaking awesome pineapple? He'd probably lose his mind over a Reese's cup. I don't know, Reese's doesn't seem that crazy. I guess medieval, they had, what, bread? And that was it? Dippin' Dots. According to their slogan, they're the ice cream of our future, so it'd be extra impressive. Ravioli with cream cheese, savory filling, and butter sauce. Feel like they would have had that in medieval time. They had pasta, so, A deep fried Snickers ball. What are you talking about? Ew, I don't like the idea of that. Do you like cats? Why? I love cats. They're playful and cuddly and require much less attention and care than dogs. If you clean their litter box frequently, they don't smell. On the downside, they do claw furniture and barf up hairballs occasionally, because they are way more tolerable than other human beings. They judge, but in your face. I just do. They are cute, and when I meet one and offer my hand and they give it the sniff and then the gentle headbutt, I feel chosen and like accepted into some secret society, lol. They have fun personalities and are interesting to watch. Still think that letting them roam freely en masse isn't a good idea for nature. They are an invasive species and the most potent killer in the animal kingdom. I like birds, etc. too. Yes, because I appreciate their independence and love it when they demand attention. They're easier to have than dogs. We have both. I love cats. I love every kind of cat. I just want to hug every cat, but I can't. They are so fluffy. Yes, I just think they're neat. You're thinking of potatoes. People who spend more than 5 minutes at an ATM, what are you doing? A study I read about years ago, never confirmed by me, stated that a person using a payphone spent about 1.5 minutes making their call. If another person arrived and stood behind them, the call would last 4 minutes. We are territorial animals. Is someone behind you needing the ATM? Thinking about my life choices, basking in the glow of my vast wealth of like, what, $10 in your checking? Forgot my PIN. Trying to call bank to change my PIN. Inserts new PIN. You can't use your old PIN. That really is it, huh? Every time you forget your password, you'd make a new one. It's like, oh, you already did that one. Can't use that. Trying to figure out the cheat code for infinite money. Hacking into the Pentagon. I'm not sure if you can do that from the ATM, but I appreciate the effort. The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the bank. What food is better raw? Figs. I grew up thinking I hated figs, but that's because I only ever had fig preserves. I had a fresh fig from a fig tree yesterday, and it was incredible. Almost life-changing. And the way it looks like an alien mouth with dozens of teeth when you open it only adds to the appeal. That sounds horrifying. Fresh fruits. Okay, yeah, easy answer. Move on. Fruits are presumably the most prevalent, or, if you like, sushi. Now that would be my answer. I love raw green beans. They're much sweeter and have a nice crunch. I read something about not eating them raw, or only in moderation, because of lectins, but I'm too lazy to look it up, so word of caution. Lettuce. Who cooks lettuce? Yeah, right? Like, that doesn't happen. Watermelon. Who the fuck cooks melons? Again, yeah, are people doing it? Ice. What do you mean? Grilled ice isn't great? I'd rather have an ice cube steak. Very rare. Carrots. Love them raw. Hate them cooked. Cooked carrots can be fine, but just don't make them like soft and mushy. It's ugh. For people saying cookie dough, have you ever walked into the kitchen when they're being cooked and eaten a fresh baked chocolate chip cookie out of the oven? That is true. There's no feeling quite like it. Gamers of Reddit. What's a gaming mechanic mechanic that you find really annoying. When a game has night cycles, night vision, but AI sees everything as if it's broad daylight. Worse, they can see you through 1 pixel of foliage like they see 100% of you. These things just punish the player for not being a machine. Yeah, I'm mostly talking about Arma. When you accidentally go the right way in a dungeon and get locked out from backtracking. I wanted to check for treasures in the dead ends. Guess not. Only getting the most fun powers in a game 30 minutes before the end. Unskippable cutscenes after dying multiple times. They just really gotta pound it in that you suck, you know? In horror games, when they give you an asthmatic's level of cardio. Yeah, literally running for 2 seconds. I mean, in real life, that's kinda true, but come on, let me run. Pay to win. Yeah, this one is an immediate game killer. That or loot boxes that, like, give you required things to win. Tutorials you can't skip. I do not need to be told how to pull out my weapon. This is the 15th time I've played this game. Please let me skip past the tutorial. Required grinding. It's more like work than a game. Seriously, when a game feels like a chore, I'm out. I wish I learned this early with Destiny 1. I played that game so much. Thank God I broke the curse with Destiny 2. Daily missions and persistent worlds. I should be playing your game because I want to, not because I have to just to keep up. Once again, I will say that is just Destiny. What illness do you think you have but aren't willing to get it checked? Stupid guy syndrome, that's me. Probably depression. After 40 plus years, I finally got treated for anxiety and a mild case of depression. I feel better than I have in years. It was rough at first, but now I'm in a much better space. I'm always stupid cold, hands and feet especially. Same. It wasn't until my hairdresser said to get my iron tested that I learned that I was dangerously anemic. I already know for a fact I have OCD/hoarding issues, but I don't have the money or time to deal with it. And honestly, it's not a huge problem right now. But I shit you not. Watch the show Monk and just imagine the main character is a black guy in Detroit and you know me backwards and forwards. Sorry about your wife. I'm always tired. It doesn't matter how much sleep I get, how much coffee or caffeine I have, really anything. I'm just tired all the damn time. Me too. But I'm too stupid to go see a doctor, so oh well. Skin cancer. Fair skin. Australia. More than a few sunburns in my youth. There's no way I don't have one, but the idea of stripping off while a doctor checks every last bit of my skin is just way too bloody overwhelming. My boyfriend says I smell like diabetes. His dad had it undiagnosed for years and had a strong smell before he finally got it managed. I'm in survival mode in life right now and cannot possibly handle another thing. Smells like diabetes? That's such a weird thing to say unprovoked. OCD. The crippling fear I get if I don't brush my teeth before bed that day, tomorrow will be ruined. Why I always grow my nail a little longer, only in my ring finger, because one time I cut it short, I did badly in an exam when I was 14. I'm 32 now and still carry that. What deep secret you don't mind telling to internet stranger but not your family/friend? Seriously, am I having a stroke? Like, the past few things have been horrible grammar. I wish my entire life was different other than having my wife. I hate everything about my life and myself. My wife is the only reason I keep going. I'm perpetually afraid I'll end up alone. I have a great family and a good group of friends, but I wake up every day thinking it's me against the world. I think that's a pretty common feeling. Most of us feel that way. During a low point in my life, I started writing an erotic fiction novel online. For characters, I literally just use people from my life, girls I've had crushes on, etc. Their names, just first names, personalities, and descriptions are exactly the same as their real-life counterparts. I did it because I was too lazy to create my own characters' names, and I didn't think anyone would read it. Thousands of people have read it. I'd delete it, but I can't remember my password to get the story taken down. So yeah, nothing I can do about it now. At least it wasn't a self-insert, then it'd be easier to trace it back to me. Edit. Why is this my most upvoted comment? I literally came back after months of not using this account, and this immediately happens. If I had the money, I would be fucking gone and left everyone behind. No hint to anyone, just gone, and never to be seen again. Nothing but fucking burning ground behind me as I tell every single person I know to fuck off. Oh, you seem like a fun person to be around. I'm so afraid of losing everything I've built and have gotten over the years that I've become extremely possessive of everything I own and get extremely jealous and worried about the guys on my girlfriend's social medias. A crack team of miners, engineers, and scientists have finally found a way to tunnel deep into the Earth's core. Inside, they find a small piece of paper. What is written on it? Expires on January 23rd, 2023. We've still got a year. It's fine. Under penalty of law, this tag not to be removed except by the consumer. Well, I guess technically we are the consumer. consumer, right? Mission accomplished. Race, human, will now be moved onto the next round.
Thank you, Mario, but our princess is in another castle.
Oh, sorry. 42. But what was the question? The question is in Mars's core. You just lost the game. Aw, shut up. A shadow moves in the dark. We cannot get out. They are coming. I owe you 1 molten core. Wouldn't the implications of that mean that we do not have a molten core, so our Earth should be crumbling right now, huh? Earth Wi-Fi password 34RTH. A genie grants you 3 wishes, and your goal is to obtain more wishes through a loophole in his system. You may not wish for the power to grant more wishes. What do you wish for? I wish for the genie to forget how to count. Every time I make a wish, I want you to think that it's my first wish. You know, that could actually work, potentially. I mean, I don't know genies. I didn't go to genie school, so. More genies. You gotta remember though, you gotta be more specific with your wishes, because they could just, make more genies, but they're spread around the world like Dragon Balls. Assuming that there's nothing bad coming out of these wishes, I would wish for him to grant me the power to fulfill my own wishes. That way I can wish for anything, no matter what. You've already got the power to fulfill your own wishes, champ. Thanks, Dad. First wish would be to abolish all bans on certain wishes. Second wish would be infinite wishes. What is something you can never say no to? Because I'm lame, watching La La Land I'll watch that shit forever. Free money. Well, yeah, of course. A nice round of nostalgic Mario Kart Double Dash. Ooh, that reminds me, I should probably plug in the good old GameCube. A nap, some fresh cookies/brownies, a few other things between the wife and I. Oh, interesting, Big Daddy. Okay, all right, you gotta calm down. A good hamburger. But it really depends on where you're getting it, though. Some alone time. Maybe a nap. As long as I'm by myself, I'd probably take it. Hugs. I love hugs. LOL. I can be down for some hugs, but don't touch me. Staying in over going out. Every time. If I can choose to stay in, I'm not going anywhere. A pay rise. I can't imagine a single person on Earth that would deny a pay raise. McDonald's French fries. While McDonald's is kind of trash, their French fries are still really good. What did you hate until you tried it? Flying in a plane. I still hate heights, but man, is the feeling of the takeoff and landing cool. Landing is not so much my favorite, but flying is really fun. Worcestershire sauce. I always smelled it in my sister's food and was put off. Now it's like crack to me. Kimchi. I don't want to try it at all, but when I tasted it, it is good. 52. Just this year, I discovered I like avocados and sushi. A classic caterpillar roll is pretty supreme. Hummus. It's really good for blended up chickpeas. Sobriety. You know what? This is actually a really good answer. Good job. Mayo. I thought I hated it, despite never really trying it, until I got pregnant with my son, and I accidentally got a sandwich with mayo on it. All of a sudden, I loved it. Miracle Whip, though. Also, I don't like spinach or artichokes, but I love spinach and artichoke dip. I'm kind of the same way with like ketchup. I'm not a big fan of tomatoes, but I love me some ketchup. Garlic bread. This looked bad? You poor thing, what horrible things have happened to you? What is the creepiest thing you found in a forest? In the middle of nowhere, numerous miles from any sign of humanity, there was a perfectly maintained 2-seater outhouse. It stood in the center of dense overgrowth and trees, not a hint of footprints and not remotely near any path or trail, just there by itself, painted and cared for, unused and supplied with toilet paper and magazines. As I once described, from the look of the ground surrounding the outhouse, no one had stepped foot there in a very long time, yet there it was, available for use. Yeah, if you don't have a picture of that, I don't believe you. You're a liar. An abandoned long-term campsite with a dog skeleton still chained to a tree. Poor thing probably starved to death. Oh, come on. You gotta bum me out. 3 piles of stones outside my tent. This should have more upvotes. Humans are the scariest thing to encounter when you think you're alone. No, piles of stones, not humans. Piles of humans would be a lot scarier. An abandoned church with boarded up windows in the middle of nowhere. Just felt very wrong and creepy. Isn't that where they end up in like the Blair Witch movie? A 200-pound snapping turtle covered in moss and weeds growing on its shell. I'm sorry, 200 pound? What did you find, Bowser? Not really creepy, but way out in the woods of our old abandoned family farm, I found what looked to be 4 old circles of stones, roughly the size of adult graves graves and 2 smaller ones like child-sized. I at least assume they are graves, but it's been in my family since the 1900s and wasn't any of ours. But seriously, no one ever goes out there except me, so I would not be surprised to find a body someday. Just be careful it doesn't become your body in those stone circles. One of those Russian dolls that when you open them, a smaller one is inside. Opened it and no smaller doll. Very disappointing. What is your opinion on nudity in movies? Very nice, yes. I always wear pants at the movies. I encourage others to do the same. When I was in my teens, I kinda lived for it. Now, whatever. If it's there, it's there. Yeah, been there, done that, seen enough. On one hand, I think nudity in movies is not needed at all, and it takes away from the story. On the other hand is lotion. Oh, disgusting! Come on! Oh no, that's horrible. Which movie? This funny movie called The Human Centipede. Context matters. If it does serve the story, then sure. If it's just blatant 2 people going at it, getting dirty, yeah, sure, that's fine too sometimes. I'm a big plotline person. Most of the time, it's completely unrelated to the story. I find that annoying. I don't understand why you can show a man's ass in PG-13, but if it's a woman, it's R. My only thoughts on that matter. Yeah, there are still some weird double standards, I guess, if that's technically the right use of that word. People get way too offended about nudity. The human body is a beautiful thing. It doesn't serve the story. Not everything has to. Okay, but you're just kind of though. Well, like, we know that. What have you spent 10,000 hours on and not mastered? How would I know? We don't have like game time trackers like Steam has for video games in real life. Sleeping. Okay, sure, yeah, that's a fair one. Talking to people. All right, you got me again. Parenthood. That's just about 14 months for anyone wondering. Imagine being a perfect parent after 14 months. Impossible. Undoable. I'm still a very average guitar player after 40 years of playing. Life. Spent a lot more than 10,000 hours and still keep f***ing it up. Facts. The algorithm keeps changing. Eating. I'm in my 30s and still manage to get food all over me when I eat. Well, that's because it's supposed to go in your mouth, silly. I solved the problem for you. Reading. Don't get me wrong, I love it and read quite a lot, but I'm still a very slow reader and my retention level is mediocre. Yeah, I have terrible retention. I do not remember anything that I've read on here. Trying to decipher whether they're flirting with me or just being nice when I'm talking to anyone. What's the best thing your therapist ever said to you? Oh, mine once told me that I'm completely alone. So that was a fun thing to learn at 12 years old. I don't think you need me anymore. You're too crazy for me. That second one isn't great. You don't have to shield yourself from what people say about you. Just examine whether it's true or not. If it's true, you know what needs changing. If it's not, you can discard it painlessly. I needed this one. That is actually some solid advice, I think. That I'm not responsible for other people's feelings in most circumstances. Their emotions are their own. Mine is the flip of this. Other people aren't responsible for my feelings. Nobody makes me feel a certain way. They might do something to trigger, but ultimately, they're my feelings and I am responsible for them. I told her I hated myself right now because I don't even recognize myself anymore. She just looked at me with such sincerity and said, I recognize you. She told me I'm still me. I'm just responding to trauma. She made me feel heard and understood without being judged or making me feel crazy. The goal isn't to make the past okay. It's already messed up. It's to be able to live the future as well as you can. Acceptance is giving up all hope of a better past. That's actually a really interesting way of thinking about it. Hate is the poison you drink to hurt someone else. Perfection is the enemy of good, and even if you achieve perfection, you won't believe it. Instead, you will probably believe your idea of perfection was wrong because you think so low of yourself. It is something you could never attain. These erroneous beliefs are a trap. They trap you into making choices that reinforce the belief and keep causing the same pain. You sure your therapist isn't a wise old Chinese monk from the medieval ages? Yeah, a little too proverby for me. People who posted in r/AITA and discovered they are the A, how did that affect your situation? Delete post, rewrite, twist story, more until NTA. I usually just see them responding to the few NTA responses for validation and ignoring the overwhelming YTA responses. Sort by controversial and you'll see that most people when called will just get really defensive. I end up bringing up the post to my girl and told her I was really sorry because I didn't know I was being an asshole. LOL. Now you see, Shrimp Cure actually did some growth. Congratulations. I said, well, then remove my post. Big reality check there, fellas. Those people aren't going to show up for this one. I mean, we've got a few of them. It caused me to think more about how I react to things and also to reveal that I never want to be in that situation again. Weird how they never accept that they are an asshole but try to defend their actions. Like the one where a lady didn't allow his little brother to attend her wedding because it was child-free. The brother was 15, but allowed her little sister, 17, to come. My favorite is when they come back with, "You just don't understand the situation." Okay, explain it better then. What is the worst song to play at a funeral? Party rock anthem? Highway to Hell. Nah, that's appropriate. Pop Goes the Weasel. Only if they had a heart attack. Another one bites the dust by Queen. Last year, unbeknownst to me, my neighbor died and the family were having the wake in her garden. I was working from home and playing this song on bass quite loudly with the windows open. Fortunately, they found it funny, but I was mortified when they told me. Staying alive? Yeah, that's a real read the room situation. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Which old witch?
The Wicked Witch.
Celebration by Kool and the Gang. Only if they were like a really bad person is that one okay. It's About Damn Time by Lizzo would be a bad choice. Or WAP. I don't know, man. I'd be fine with that playing at my funeral. Typically, funerals honor the dead guy in some way, and I feel like that would be the highest of honors. I doubt Walking on Sunshine would be well received. Alright, but y'all aren't thinking about what if these are these dead people's favorite songs? Then it's appropriate, right? Bring Me to Life by Evanescence. Wake me up, bitch, I can't wake up, wake me, save me. Playing Drop It Like It's Hot while lowering the casket into the ground. Nah, that just seems fun. Cooks of Reddit, what ingredients blow your mind? Salt and pepper are so stupidly simple, but they are so vital and important. Smoked paprika in anything Tex-Mex. Smoked paprika in anything. The difference between using vanilla extract and vanilla beans in a baking project is astounding. Beans are expensive, so I tend to save them for special occasions, but it really does add extra flavor. Turmeric and cumin, they're the secret touch to a lot of things I do. Fresh rosemary, garlic powder and cumin, so simple yet so strong. One of my old roommates was a chef and he did suggest that cumin it's the secret for so many things, but not everything. Not everything. Onion, you can eat it raw in a burger or dice it up for hot dogs and nachos. You can grill them, fry them, roast them, caramelize them. So versatile. What's going on inside of your head right now? An anxious cycle of what I need to do tomorrow. Well, when you're done, use a base, not an acid, to dissolve the body. Thinking of that one person that all of a sudden stopped talking to me. Day 5, still thinking about her. Week 4 here. Where did it all go wrong? A lot of f***ing depressing things. Was gonna type some shit, but seems the other chronically depressed fools got me covered. F*** all of you doll-lickers. What is that insult? Doll-lickers? What is that? I hope I get some bitches before I die. Good luck there, bud. Zombie, 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 it's in your head, in your head. Oh, okay, I get it now. I get it. I should eat more of those sliced pickles in the fridge. They were really good. What were you into as a kid that you still are at your current age? Lego. Well, yeah, Legos are timeless. They break generations. Pokemon. I was 12 or 13 when Red and Blue came out. Can't wait till Violet comes out in November. Despite how some people may feel, I like Professor Gigachad, the Protogen Legendary is great, and the new gimmick looks fun. Video games. Well, okay, go in more detail. What video game specifically? Super Mario series. I've definitely taken a little bit of a downturn, but Galaxy will forever be the GOAT. I began playing guitar in 1966. I still play guitar, but are you good at it? Breathing was, and still is, kind of important to me. What do you know? Breathing's overrated. What human experiment would you carry out if it was legal? So, the running theory on what's called hysterical tickling, which is the ticklishness you have when somebody is actively trying to tickle you versus the kind you get from a bug crawling on you, is that it's an instinct to promote combat training in young children. The locations that people tend to be ticklish in tends to correlate with the same spots you'd want to target if you were trying to fight somebody. The neck, the flanks, the back, the bottoms of feet. The tickler gets practice striking those locations and gets encouraged by the laughing of the ticklee, while the ticklee gets practice defending against against it. I'd like to see an experiment to determine if there is a correlation between ticklishness and empathy/violence. The easiest way to test this would be to experiment on violent criminals, but I don't see them as a group who would volunteer to take part in such an experiment. I would really like to know how many toddlers I could overcome in a gymnasium fight. Oh, easy. Battle of Helm's Deep, but with toddlers? Easy. Ever seen IQ? Lock a man in a room with no clock and no natural lighting and see how long it takes for him to go crazy and back sane again. What's IQ? It's a film, a romantic comedy. I think this scenario plays out on screen. IIRC, the main character dude sneaks him a watch and all is well. I'd lock 5 people each with completely different, extreme political views in a room together and give them everything they could ever need except things that can hurt them. Just gonna watch what happens. Everything's a weapon if you try hard enough. Lock a man and a tin of tuna in a room with no can opener. See how long it takes him to open it. That one could be interesting. See if man can remember how to be innovative, ingenuitive, whatever. Cavemen. A bunch of babies are put in a closed off area and shut off from the outside world, and they spend their lives from 0 to 20 in this building. And to see what they do, how a language develops, their building skills, their laws and punishments, how they react to puberty, and whether or not they figure out how to reproduce. What if you put one other person there to feed them, but they weren't allowed to do anything else? They go in, feed the babies, and leave. And like some animals, after they are old enough to not drink milk, they leaving the babies with rations they could use until they figured out how to hunt. Alright, breaking out of the scenario, I hate you, Nicole. Use punctuation next time, please. Have politicians live on basic wage for a month, then get them to do a budget for their community. I am very interested to see how this one would play out, because good lord, they are so detached from regular people. Start over with an island of diverse people with no knowledge of our current world issues. See if the issues would repeat themselves. See if our issues are biologically hardwired. What is never in your junk drawer when you need it? Oh, for me, it's scissors. I know I keep them in there, but every time I look, they're gone. Working batteries. Oh, you know what? Actually, those two. For me, it's the tape. Someone always takes the goddamn tape and never returns it. Scissors. See, I'm not the only one with this problem. The thing I'm looking for. Well, of course, Poncho. Of course you can't find it. Super glue. That is a universal, huh? Everyone has super glue of some kind in their junk drawer. No clue why, but you just have it. A freaking pen that works. This one kills me when I need to, sign my checks from work. The correct size rubber band. Weirdly, I don't think I have any rubber bands in our junk drawer. A Sharpie. I live by myself, and for some reason, my Sharpies just up and vanish. I'll buy a pack of 5, and within a month, they're just gone. Have you checked in between the couch cushions, or if you have cats, they have it. They took it. Organization. Well, yeah, what's the point of a junk drawer if you're just gonna organize it and clean it? And on that messy note, we've come to the end of today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Once again, my name has been Big Boy Brandon, and I'll speak into your ears next time. Bye!